Hey everybody. So, I'm sure you all have a lot of questions, or, well, maybe only a few. First off, I'm alive. Yeah, haven't posted in a while, and I'll get to the reasoning for that later. I wanted to make a video to kind of update all of you, but I haven't been able to get to it for various reasons. So I wanted to kind of make this video of me just driving back home, and for one, to show you guys that I drive this every day, but also just to give you guys an update, because I could make it kind of like one of my other videos, but that would require editing, and I don't have time for that right now, so I'm just going to do it. So, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and start driving home from my workplace. Anyway, so I haven't updated in a long time. I haven't posted anything in a long time. I haven't done anything in since June, I believe. So that's fun. And there are a lot of reasons for that, but the biggest reason is because of the full-time job that I have now. Woo! Full-time job, woo! So, yeah, that's the thing. And that kind of has to do with why I haven't done anything on YouTube in a while, but I've still kind of been on Twitter, more or less. So, when June came around, I was approached by one of my coworkers, or one of the higher-ups, really, about a possible job change. In terms of, hey, we have this new position that's open, it would be full-time, it would be a lot more responsibility, but it would be well worth it, and I was considering you for the position. And I was like, that's awesome, I definitely want to take that up, let me in. It's kind of get your foot in the door no matter where you can. And yeah, so after that point, in mid-June, I started training under this other person. And she was cool. And when I started training, it was that moment that I realized that this job is insane in terms of just how much you have to learn in order for everything to work. You have to memorize so much. There's so many programs that I had to learn. There were so many things that I had to keep track of. And there are still things that I mess up to this day after almost 3 months working there. Really, I've only been working there myself for a month and a half or so, but yeah. And that goes to show, training for that took a month to do. A month. And I was learning things every single day. Every single day there was something new. And that just goes to show how much information in total there actually was. So obviously, due to that, and because of this job, I'm actually twice as active as I'm twice as more active than I was before. So obviously, when I go home, I don't want to do anything at all. And for a solid month or so, that was the case. On top of all that, and this isn't going to just be a list of excuses, obviously. But I do want to detail kind of why I haven't been on, of course. So there was the training, and then now there is, funnily enough, I am moving into an apartment soon. Woo! I am moving out of my parents, finally. So that's fun. And the process for going through that isn't really terribly stressful until you get to the move-in day, or like the move-in week, which unfortunately for me is this week. So, and I wanted to post an update before I actually moved in, so that's why I'm doing it like this. I'm moving in with a good friend of mine. He kind of has a YouTube channel, but is more present on Twitter, but yeah, it's iffy. He goes by the username, I think it's like BIM official or something, so he's cool. I'm going to be doing some stuff with him. I will say, beyond anything else, I have plans for the future, for my YouTube channel, for my life, for my career, all that good stuff. I do want to point out, just shameless plug real quick, of course, I do have a Patreon. Obviously, I haven't been posting in months, but in the coming weeks, I will start to post again, which I'm very excited for. There's going to be a lot of new content coming up. I haven't really put anything into the works, so it's kind of that thing where you're excited to do new things, but you're not really sure if they're actually going to get done or not, because they're all still like in the ether of your mind. So that's fun. Yeah, so I'm not going to reveal anything that I have planned right now. I will say that I am also going to start making a weekly podcast. It won't be for a few weeks, because I want to move in and get used to what I'm doing and whatnot, and maybe upload a couple videos before I actually get started. But I am going to start a podcast. IO Chat will continue, and of course, every time that I do it, it'll be bigger and better than the previous. Give me just a second. Okay. Somebody's texting me, so I don't want it to interrupt the video or anything. I don't know if that actually caught them on the microphone or something. I don't know. Anyway, ironically, the person who's texting me right now, and no, I'm not texting and driving, I got my hands on the wheel and stuff, so I'm just, and I talk to myself all the time, so it's anyway, this is the hard part about talking for a long period of time with no editing involved, is that you have to just keep on talking and think of things to say and whatnot. So anyway, ironically, or coincidentally, the person who was texting me there was actually the person I'm doing the podcast with, Bea Futh. She has a channel, I've mentioned it before. If you look at my recommended channels, she's the top one. I think it's Bea, or B is here actually, but it's spelled B-E-A, so I say Bea or something, I don't know. She's really cool. Definitely go and support her channel if you can. She needs all the support that she can get. She's starting she's going to be starting an art business soon, and her art is really good. So yeah, I'm excited for her. She's excited to start it. And if any of you guys are interested in checking that out, look up her YouTube channel. BEA is here, ! I think. But yeah, so as you can see from various things, a lot of things are getting put in place. I mean, for Pete's sake, my life is basically starting right now. I graduated from college to get my bachelor's degree in May, and now I have a full-time job. I'm moving out of my parents' apartment. I'm starting my YouTube channel again for the third time. But I'm actually going to upload content, and I'm going to be doing it because I won't be distracted by my family and all that stuff. I won't be because here's another thing. why it's always been so hard for me to upload videos is because every time that I upload a video, I usually have to do some kind of talking for it. So I usually end up having to record. Actually, no, I always have to record. And whenever I record, it's always hard to find a time because I need to be basically alone in the house. Otherwise, I have to go to my parents and my siblings and be like, hey, I'm recording. Just be quiet for like an hour or so, because it does take that long sometimes, depending on what it is. So yeah, it's always been hard to try to find a time to upload, or to record rather, which is again why I'm doing this now, because this is one of the few times during the day that I actually have the opportunity to talk to myself and thus record. Yeah. I'm being like slightly careful, because if I constantly motion to something, like my phone for instance, and then somebody sees me like talking to something and not paying attention to the road, like particularly like police or something, and they'll be like, that guy is probably FaceTiming or something. He shouldn't be doing that. When in fact, I'm just kind of just talking to myself, but more like talking to a phone. Anyway, so I do hope that you guys can actually hear what I'm saying, because that would be super unfortunate if I got done recording this and then it's like, oh, you couldn't hear me the entire time. Anyway, but yeah, it's always been hard to record at home and etc. And another thing, one thing that always kept me motivated to make new videos and do a lot of things in terms of creative stuff, such as like working on my games and whatnot, is my friend Isabella, Beafuth. We meet on a weekly basis to kind of go over like, hey, what have you been doing this week? How are you? And also to kind of set goals for each other. Unlike, so I'm going to do this by next week. Well, for a while, she has actually been suffering from clinical depression. And it's gotten really bad the past few months. And so because of that, we didn't stop having meetings because those were important, but we did stop having goals. And because, and like, I could set goals for myself, but there wasn't really any motivation to do so because she also didn't have any goals set. So if I didn't do anything, then there wouldn't really be any consequences. So it's like, why do I do it in the first place other than just for my own gain and benefit? When there's no real, I appreciate the 30-something people that are subscribed to me right now. Like, you guys are the best. But it's not a huge amount. Like, I am obviously still, like, an itty-bitty-witty new hatchling YouTube channel, like, I have a few videos out, but none of them are gaining traction by any means. So at this point, I don't have much of a YouTube channel, basically. And my games aren't going to come out for years to come. Well, okay, maybe like a year or something, maybe 2, depending. What was it? But yeah, so there's no real reason for me to create things right now, and on top of everything else that I'm doing, like, I have to make time to do it. So yeah, that's why it's been difficult to do that. But luckily, recently, Isabella has been doing better. Her depression, like, she is trying to find the right words for it. She's gotten a new medication that is starting to kick in, and she herself is handling her depression a lot better recently. Now, how you define how somebody handles depression or whatever, I mean, obviously I do not have it myself, so I can't really speak to it. But in general, she is doing better mentally, which is awesome, honestly. So that means that recently we had started making goals now. Now, a lot of them have been towards the game that we're making currently, but this is what happens. Your brain starts going in and starts going, and then whoo, train goes off the track. But we've been starting making goals, which means that I'm starting to get motivated and starting to make content again, whether that be for my game or my YouTube channel, which is great. So I'm really excited for all of that to get started, for that to be happening, etc., etc. But yeah, so that's kind of the long and short of why I haven't been uploading recently. And it's not that it hasn't been hard, or that it's not that it has been hard. I mean, okay, it has in certain ways. I mean, my new job has been really difficult to kind of get a hold of, and only recently have I really gotten a hold of it, but I'm still having troubles now and again, especially when I have to catch up on something. So, like, the way that it works at my job is basically I have all these things that I have to do every single week. And if I don't do one of those things on the day that I'm supposed to do it, then I have to do it the next day, on top of everything else that needs to get done that day. Which usually means that one of those things from that day is going to get pushed to the next day, and the next day, and the next day. And it kind of just builds on top of itself all the time, so it always feels like I'm always having to catch up rather than working ahead, like I should be. So, but recently I have been getting a better hold on it, which is why I'm able to create content again, and I'm actually motivated to do so. And then there's also the general thing of, you know, your motivation for doing things productive or whatever, you know, it has highs and lows and goes all over the place. You know, some days you'll be like, yes, I am going to do the thing. I am going to create the thing. I'm going to do all the things. Ah! And then other days you're just like, nah, fam. I just want to sit back, play Zelda, or play Smash, and just chill and have a soda. Like some days you don't want to do anything. There have been days when I didn't want to go to work, honest to goodness. And of course, like, I still did. I might have left early a couple times, but I always went to work. And it has been difficult at times, but, you know, everybody goes through something like that. Everybody has trials, everybody has pains, everybody has troubles that they go through. Like, that's a thing that we all experience. I mean, this is a small thing, but the shirt that I'm wearing right now, you can't really see it because of my seatbelt, but it says World's Okayest Fundraiser. And then on the back, it says, like, hashtag Ryan Strong or something. And this shirt is basically for a kid that basically my mom knows or something, or knows the mom of. And apparently he has some kind of disease. I don't know, it might be cancer. I honestly don't know. Because, like, I don't know this kid. So, like, so she got these shirts from a fundraiser and gave them to all of us children. Hey, sorry. And I got the shirt, and it's just cheesy, and it's black and white, so it stands out, and I'm not really a person that likes to stand out in crowds, or like at my workplace or anything. So yeah, people were like, "Oh, what does your shirt say?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, it says World's Okayest Fundraiser because I don't know." And the back says this, it's because that. And I mean, something like that. And it's that awkward situation that you always want to avoid. But the reason why I'm wearing this is because it's the only shirt that I have left that actually fits. Because I do have shirts that were from high school or something that are mediums, but that does not fit me at all. I mean, technically I could put it on, but I don't think anybody wants to see that. So yeah, anyway. So yeah, just little things here and there that prevent me from always going full motivation, full dedication, go, fire in my eyes, that kind of thing. But recently, I have been getting better. I have started to get more motivated, which is great. Something that's kind of interesting. One of the things that's going to start happening, and this is kind of I'll go over this when I actually make an official thing for this, because I do want to kind of lay out here's the thing that's happening on my channel now. But what I want to do is that I do want to continue doing the IO chat videos. For instance, in my last video on the director's commentary, if you watch till the very end, I actually show what the next video that I'm doing is going to be. It's going to be over Celeste, which is a game that I absolutely adore. It is such a good game, and it's incredible that it is an indie game that is of this quality. And it's just amazing in so many ways. I absolutely love it. And so I kind of want to show how the game teaches you to be good at platformers, and specifically the game itself, and how it takes you from learning how to do the controls to mastering every single little mechanic that it has. Anyway, so yeah, but IO Chat is sticking around. And I'm wanting it to be something that happens once a month, so that at the start of each month, I start working on a new IO Chat video along with all of my weekly videos. And then at the end of the month, I'll post it and be like, hey, here's this month's, check it out, woo. But I don't think that will have any kind of specific schedule to it. Maybe every 4 to 5 weeks on a Friday or something, but we'll see what happens. On top of that, I am going to have weekly videos. Now, these weekly videos are basically going to be discussion-based videos, kind of like a mini IO Chat. They're going to be videos where I just talk about something that is on my mind, whether it be hand-drawn animation or some kind of new thing that's coming out, or some news that's happening, or some controversial topic, just general topics that I want to discuss and kind of get my 2 cents out on. But I don't want to make a full IO Chat video on, because those take a long time. They require a lot of setup, a lot of content that goes into it. Whereas with these mini discussion videos, I can just record myself, overlay a bit of footage that I can either find on the internet or create myself, and it'll be good to go and upload. I don't have to do anything I don't need to do any heavy I don't need to do any heavy editing. And then there's the weekly podcast that I'm doing. I do want to start doing some Let's Play videos, just because, for one, every YouTuber does that, but I don't just want it to be Let's Plays. See, this is the thing that I've always thought of whenever I make a YouTube video or make any kind of content, really, is that I want to stand out. I want to make something that's different, that'll catch your eye. My parents just passed. I wonder where they're going. But I always want to make something different. So one of the things that I kind of want to do, so if you're a guy or a person that likes Smash Brothers, you're probably subscribed to this channel Nick called AlphaRad. He makes a lot of amazing and hilarious videos about Smash Brothers and all that, a lot of Let's Play stuff. And one of the things that he's actually most famous for, and that has gotten the top of the gaming charts on YouTube a lot, is his CPU tournaments, or his computer tournaments. And I always found those to be interesting. I love the idea of trying to have a program that you have tell a story that's you're kind of removed from it, but you turn a video game into this, you create your own narrative with it. He has an anime opening for it now, which is just incredible. But something that I realized while I watched it is that, it's the reason why I'm never fully invested in those videos. It's because that, you have to watch multiple episodes to see any kind of continuity, but there's not a real sense of, there's no power dynamic. You really do not know who is going to win, and so the stakes aren't really there. They are in terms of oh, I hope that this person wins, but there's no sense of an underdog. There's no sense of oh, this person has age, I hope this person wins because he doesn't normally, or something like that. And if there is something like that, it's something that happens over time. So my idea is that I want to use Amiibo, because Amiibo actually learn and level up and get better over time, and you can give them these special abilities that make them different and unique. So I'm kind of wanting to do an Amiibo tournament kind of thing. Anyway, I'm just spitballing ideas at this point. I'm actually almost home. Yeah, I know. Now I am almost home. This video is approaching 30 minutes. But I legit do this every single day in order to drive to work, which is also why I'm so glad that I'm finally moving into the town that I actually work in, so I don't have to make this 30-minute commute every single day. Regardless, so this is going to be the end of the video. Thank you all for watching. I really do apologize for not uploading at all for a few months now, ever since June. I can say that I cannot say that I have proper reasoning for it, but I am excited that I'm finally going to start uploading again and start creating content again. You may have noticed that I have been hinting at another game, not just Project Crap, but another game is indeed in the works. I am not going to give any details on it now because I kind of want to keep it a surprise. And this does not mean that Project Crap is gone forever. It is simply put on the back burner because our ambitions for that game have gotten so incredibly huge that we need more experience with game development in general before we tackle something like that. Anyway, with that being said, thank you for watching up to this point. I know a lot of you probably didn't, which is fine. I completely understand that. But thank you for doing so. Remember, I do have a Patreon. And of course, if you haven't already, please subscribe. It really does help me make more videos. It gives me reason to make videos. If you like it, if you comment, please comment actually, any kind of suggestions that you might have in terms of how to make this channel better. If you want to help in any kind of way, I don't know how you could at this point, but just anything like that would be great. Anyway, yeah, once again, thank you all for watching. Thank you for joining me on this little trip. And I will see you in whatever I make next. So, see ya.